morning. Want to go back in time with me a little bit, look at some of the pieces of art that I've done. You might call this an impromptu video portfolio. So I'm going to do a screen recording and start it right now. So what I want to do is I want to open up some of the artwork that I've done in the past. So we'll start with that one. That's a young lady playing a guitar, obviously. And that was done using the dry brush in Procreate. And I don't know anything about the young lady except that it was somebody who I was asked to do a painting of. So it was an assignment, in other words, a commission. Same with this. This was a young lady at a bus station, and somebody asked me if I would do this painting. So some of these I'll have some stories to, and some of these I won't. But let's see this one. Oh yeah, this one. Well, this was an assignment for an article about the good old times, because when you're old, like I am, a lot of times you subscribe to magazines, or at least pick them up. Like, that's probably more true. You just pick them up in the local stores or whatever. So they have these retro or vintage stories of what it was back then. So I did that picture for the magazine. Oh, this is my niece. Actually, she's my nephew's daughter, but I call her my niece. And she came to visit, and we went down to the, actually this was at the campground. They were camping, that's right. And I went down to the pond with her and my nephew, and I got a photograph of her feeding the duck and decided to make it a painting. So there's a story for that one. Let's hope these have stories. This is a woman at a funeral. I was at a funeral of somebody that I know, and she was somebody I didn't know, and obviously she must have known the person who died just like I did. And I could see her looking sad. And so I took a photo of her, and then I did the painting of her later on. And by the way, I'm showing you these because I had a couple of requests to show some of the art that I've done in the past. And so this is one. Robin and I went to a lake in Gainesville, Florida, near the University of Florida. And it was a rainy day. We went down to this lake. I think it's called Lake, Lake Warburg? Yeah, I think it's called Lake Warburg or something. And this gentleman was fishing. I took a photo of him and did a painting from the photo. Let's see. This one. Oh, this one is a photograph. Again, well, it's not a photograph, but it's a painting that I did from a reference photo. I think Robin took the photo. And there was a gentleman, this was during COVID, and you couldn't go into McDonald's during COVID. You could only do the drive-thru. And so we saw this gentleman drinking his coffee in his car, and it occurred to me that maybe his whole morning routine was interrupted by COVID, but he didn't want to stop his morning routine, so he went down in his car rather than sitting inside of the restaurant. Oh, this is a street scene. This is downtown Ocala. There was an event happening, and people were eating and walking around, and I called this one date night. I don't know the people in it, but I called it date night. It's just a painting. This is during COVID also. This one looks unfinished to me. I think I never got past the sketch stage. You can still see the sketch lines and everything. But there was a young girl. This was in St. Augustine. And I saw this young girl sitting on one of the concrete benches in one of the very, very narrow streets in St. Augustine. And she looked alone, and she was on her phone. And I thought, well, COVID has has forced her to be having friends on social media rather than in real life. And well, this is a dance, obviously, two people dancing. I have to tell you about this one. So I live in Ocala, which is not too far from the Villages. And the Villages is typically considered a retirement community. And Robert and I went down there one time. There's a neighborhood called Sumter Landing, and they have this really nice area where you can just eat and look at the water on the lake. So there were two people dancing. I will tell you that the two people dancing easily were in their 80s. And I thought, well, I took a photograph of them, and I thought, in their mind, they're teenagers again. And so I took the photograph of them and I used that as a reference photo, but you know, I made them look younger, and I made them look sexier, and I made it look like this. And I also made the sky a lot more dramatic. In the original photo, it was just a blue sky. So there's that story. This is the lady. New York is my first home, and I go back there a lot. Looks like I painted this one 2 years ago. It says 2022. So it was. I took bunches of photographs, and I saw this lady walking with her little girl, and I just thought that's a mom and daughter. That's a special moment for those two. And of course the umbrella. I don't know how many of you know this, that one of the things we call those hot dog stands is we call it the umbrella room, like it's a fancy restaurant. Do you guys know that story? All right, next one. Oh, this is Robin's brother, Jim Paranto. He is a percussionist. He's a musician. He's also a woodworker and a farmer. And a teacher. He's got a lot of things. And I went to one of his concerts and took a photo of him playing, are those called congas? And did a painting from that. And I gave it to him. So he has that painting. Oh, this is my buddy. This is my son, Alex. When he was much younger, we went to North Carolina. And this is actually done in pastel. And it's just a beautiful memory for me. So, and I gave him that. It's about, maybe it's like 18 by 24. It's a rather large painting. Oh, this is Vaughn Roberts. He has since passed away, but he was a gentleman who played taps at the different veterans' funerals and the different veterans' cemeteries. And he had a little campaign he was doing called Taps for Troops, and he would drive around. And so I painted this one. I think this is oil. I'm pretty sure that's an oil painting, and of course I gave it to him. And now his wife, of course, is the keeper of that painting. Looks like I did that one in 2012. By the way, I finished that one on the day my mom died. I remember I was working on that painting, almost done, and I got the phone call. Yeah, it's funny how things have, you attach memories to things, right? Oh, this is Robin painting faces at a church fundraiser. And you can see, if you can see the date, it's the year 2000. And I called it Peinture de Visage because I thought I'd be fancy and give it a French name. Peinture de Visage, which simply means painting the face or something like that. And by the way, that church in the painting is not the church, because the church was actually a more modern building, but I thought how quaint it would look to put an old wooden church in there. This is a pastel that I did out my window, believe it or not. And if you look out my window, it does not look like that. But I took liberties, okay? I took liberties. It was just fun. I was just sitting here. I'm sitting in the exact seat I'm sitting in right now, and I opened the window in front of me, and I looked out the window. I said, I can do something with that. Let's see, this next one. Come on, where is it? Oh, there it is. Well, this is an illustration for a children's book. I don't know much to tell you because usually the illustrations I do for children's books are through publishers, and Robin does the wheeling and the dealing and the negotiating and all that stuff. And so this ended up in somebody's book. I don't even know the name of the book, but there's a piece of my art portfolio that I'll share with you. I probably have a few of them in here. I don't even know what's in this file here. I'm just kind of go through it. Oh, can I make that bigger? Oh yeah. That's what did I call that? I don't know. I had a name for that. But anyway, that's a dog being serenaded by a mouse. That's a digital piece, by the way. This next one is also a digital piece. And I call it, oh, I can make these bigger. I didn't know that. I call it the Subma Wiener. You know the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile? Well, this is the Subma Wiener. I made it up. There is no such thing. Well, maybe there is now. Who knows? Oh, I like this one. All right, this is Lady Afghan, I think is what I called it. Like Lady Gaga, but in an Afghan form. That was just a series of pictures I did just for the fun of it. I did a bunch of animals playing musical instruments. This is a poster I designed and painted. And if you see, there's a quote on it, and it says, "It's a great big world and an even bigger sky, so aim high, sweetie pie." And that's from a song called "Aim High, Sweetie Pie" by Robin and the Giant, which I am the giant. I was, back when we used to do those songs. And let's see, what's the next one? Oh, well, I guess I could show you this one. This is our logo for the art that Robin and I do. So real quickly, the name Bathing Nodine Art. I designed this thing, but the name comes from Robin and the Giant. If you take those letters and you scramble them, you come up with Bathing Nodine Art. So when Robin and the Giant was pretty much done, when we weren't doing that anymore, and I was doing a lot of art, I tried to figure out a way to call ourselves something that seemed to have evolved from Robin and the Giant, and it worked out. Bathing Nodine Art. It was just almost like a miracle. Let's see. Well, this is a pumpkin. I tried to do a Halloween picture in the style of Van Gogh. Did I succeed? I don't know. Okay, so this is an illustration for a book that we really never finished. But you might remember I told you a story once about a song that we did called Heloise O'Lantern. And Heloise O'Lantern is Jack O'Lantern's little sister. And she doesn't come out on Halloween. Instead, she comes out on Thanksgiving. And in the song it says, "Why is there no face?" And then the next line is, "Because it's bowed while saying grace." And so the face is just drawn on the pumpkin. That's a painting. And obviously I used a marker or something. Probably just paint. I don't remember what I did there for the face. All right, let's see what else we have. That's just a reference photo. That's a photo. I guess that was something I probably took that picture with the intent of painting it. Let's see, what else do I have here? Well, this is a pastel landscape. This is also very large, like 18 by 24. And I don't remember anything about it. I might have even made it up. Okay, this is an oil painting at the lighthouse on the east coast of Florida. I can't remember the name of the town. Ponce Inlet, maybe? Ponce Inlet? It could be. That was when it was 2011. That's when Robin and I were doing paintings to raise money for the Literacy Council. We raised $7,000 with that for the Literacy Council. Same thing with this painting. This is up in the northeast part of Florida. It's called Talbot Island. And again, that was another painting for the fundraiser. Same with this one. This is Treasure Island down... Oh no, it says Delnor Wiggins. Oh, I thought that was Treasure Island. But this is Delnor Wiggins. I painted that in 2012. Again, it was an oil painting done plein air, done on the scene. All right, here's something I need to explain. What is this about? Well, this is a pencil drawing I did for the Humane Society. And they wanted me to do all these doggies. Freddie, Louie, Vixen, Petey, Goblin, and Lemon. I did that in 2017. All right, let's see. Here's another dog. This is a dog named Patch. Patch was the dog of a friend of mine. And I don't know what date I did this, but it's a long time ago. And that's an oil painting. Here's another one from the Humane Society. This is a dog named Phoenix. And that looks like 2012 is when I did that one. That's an oil painting also. And Phoenix lost a leg. You can see right there. There's not another leg, although it might not be that easy to tell. But Phoenix was a 3-legged dog and was rescued and became their mascot. And they asked me to do a painting of him, and I think it still hangs in there. This is a dog named Bear, and I don't remember. Oh, it says 2012. Basically, the only story behind this is Robin and I did a radio show, and on the radio show we mentioned that I did art, and somebody came in and asked me if I do a painting of their dog named Bear. And this is another dog. This is done in pastel, and I think this was the dog of a co-worker of mine, and she asked me to do that painting. If it's in pastel, I still call it a painting, by the way. I call this painting Joe's Dogs. This is done in colored pencil. It's a lot brighter in reality. The photograph of it looks a little faded or whatever, those are the dogs of the manager of the Hilton Hotel where I used to sketch. I used to sketch the visitors of the hotel and get $15 a piece back in those days. Okay, we'll go all over the map, with my portfolio. It is not curated. I'm sorry. This is a painting for a children's book. It's obviously a camping scene. I don't know much else to tell you about that. A lot of the assignments are just work. I get assignments and I do them, and then we move on. Same thing with this one. I like that one though. I like that one. And this is a painting I did. I went to the beach with Robin and her mom, and I was watching this young woman teaching her daughter how to fly a kite. So I took a bunch of photographs of them, and then I did this painting. I love that painting, by the way. Oh, and this is a pastel painting, another large painting. That's my son Alex running up a hill. We were camping someplace in Texas when I took the photograph. This is such a sweet, fond memory for me. It's just this sweet, sweet time in my life when I was a young dad, and I had a young son, and those are beautiful memories. Okay, here's a pastel portrait I did of 2 children, and it was 2003 that I painted that, and it was a request from somebody I work with, I think. I think somebody I worked with asked me for that one. Same thing with this one. This is also 2003. I was going through a lot of these at that time. And this is a family that I worked with, the lady in the glasses. And she had a photograph of these 4 people in her family, but she wanted to be in the photograph. This was 2003. I guess there was something called Photoshop back then. I'm not sure. 21 years ago, was there Photoshop? But if there was, I certainly didn't know how to use it back then. And so this is a pastel, and it's very large. I don't remember. I just remember taking a long time to do it. And her name was Barbara, by the way. I worked with her. Here's another painting. I think I have a larger one of that. Let's see. Come on. Yeah, there it is. There's the full one. That's a baby. That looks like 2002. Again, it's at the request of somebody whom I worked with. This is a lady down in the villages, mentioning the villages, and this was a commission, and they asked me to paint this lady and put these characters in there. I don't remember the reason. I don't remember, but that was an assignment. Oh yeah, this was one of the kitchen workers. She came from Jamaica. Now I didn't go to Jamaica to take the photograph. I took a photo. She wanted a picture of herself in Jamaica, so we went through some photos, and she liked the one of just the ocean and the sky, and so I painted her. This is in pastel, and I put her in Jamaica. It looks beautiful too. Looks like a place you want to go to. And she was super nice, by the way. Oh, wow, this one's in there. Okay, this is a photograph of people holding one of the portraits I did of them. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in that portrait. The gentleman holding the baby is named Ted. He was a journalist for the local newspaper, and he had asked me if I would do this for them, and I did. I don't know, it's pastel. I don't know how long it took me. Probably a long time. Those pictures. This is my nephew Christopher and his beautiful wife Yvonne. I did that in 2002. That's in pastel. This is another pastel. This is 2 children that went to Animal Kingdom, I think is what it's called in Disney, and that's the tree of life behind them. Hope I'm not going too fast. That's me. I'm cringing a little bit because I don't like the way I look. That's beautiful Robin. That is Governor Jeb Bush. At that time, he was the governor of Florida. And this is a young lady named Jessica. And Robin was a mentor for Jessica. She was a mentor for like 6 or 7 years. And they took a trip to Tallahassee and met the governor. And so I did a portrait of the 3 girls that were on that trip and the governor, and then we went and presented the painting to the governor. No politics. Don't get politics. Oh, here's a close-up of that same picture. So when we met Jeb Bush, he said that I made him look young in the painting, and he's right. I did. Yeah. This is a wedding picture. This was a gift for a friend, and it's in pastel. Oh, this next one is 2 firefighters. The firefighter on the left is named Frank. His son is on the right. His name is Louis, and they both worked for the fire department of New York. And on September 11th, Frank was already retired from the fire department, but Louis still worked there. And Louis had the day off, and he was like out on Long Island somewhere when all of that happened. And of course, when it happened, he had to go back in. And Louis and Frank had such a close relationship. Frank has since passed away, but that's a fond one for me. I think I think a print of this is hanging in the New York City FDNY Museum, I think. Ah, there's my best friend. This is Robin. This is an oil painting, I think. I'm pretty sure it's oil, not acrylic. Yep, that's Robin. Back in 2011. Oh, this is American Victory. This is a ship. I painted this one and donated it to the veterans, and I think they raised some money with it. That's an oil painting. That's a pastel landscape. It's not too different than what I do now with the watercolors on the cards, but that's very large. That was a large one. Almost everything is large back in those days. This was my very first, what do you call it, plein air. Very first time I ever went out into the wild, and I did that in pastel, and boy, that was a hot day. Very hot day. This is a gentleman I know named Hank. This is him in his younger days. His wife asked me to paint that. He was in the Marines. And, oh, okay, well, this is a picture of me doing sketching. Do I look younger? I think I look younger. And, yeah, I used to sketch. Obviously, this might be, like near Disney, that like they would have these events, and I would go there and I'd be the sketch artist, and that's what I did. I might have another one. Oh yeah, here's another one. Same thing, same place, same day. Okay, let's see. Oh, these are three beautiful ladies. Olga is the lady in the middle. Jolene is the lady on the left. And I don't know the young lady's name on the right, but this is three generations, basically, mother, daughter, and granddaughter. And I knew Olga first. I knew her. And that's a pastel. I just did that as a gift for them. Same with this. This was a gift from my sister. Those are my sister's cats. My sister is named Doreen. She has since passed. This is my nephew Shannon and his beautiful wife Carrie and their firstborn son Tommy. Again, that was a gift from me to them. It was a pastel, and it looks like I did it in 2004, 20 years ago. This is an oil painting of a gate. Now, what's the deal here, you say, right? Well, this is Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings' estate, her home. Not too far from here. So she's the author of The Yearling and Cross Creek and other books, and her home is now a national landmark. But rather than painting her home, I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to paint her gate, because that's when she was home. When she'd come back from wherever she might have gone, first she had to walk through that gate. And so I called the painting Marjorie's Gate. Oh, there's my buddy. That's my buddy Alex, his wife Jessica, and their dog Murray. And that's an oil painting. And it's large. That's also an oil painting, and it's also a plein air oil painting from Madison Blue Springs. It was also part of the fundraiser that we did that I mentioned earlier. Oh, there's me holding the picture of Alex and Jessica and Murray. See how you can see how large it is. See, it was a gift, of course. This is another plein air painting done in oil at a state park here in Florida somewhere. I think it was called the Hillsborough River State Park. This is another plein air painting that was done for the fundraiser. I think I'm almost done. Another plein air painting done for the fundraiser. Got three more here. Oh, this is, I don't remember their names, but I had a request or a commission to do a painting of this couple. They always dressed up as clowns, and they were very well known in Oh, in our community, in one of the, like Elks Club or something like that, and or Shriners, one of those kind of clubs. So, and they have that hanging in their hall. And oh, here's a painting of Robin's brother's collies. I went up. Her brother lives like on a farm. Might as well call it a farm. It's a beautiful place, like 10 acres or something, and they've got these beautiful collies. So I just did a painting of them, and I think this is the last one. Oh, that's nothing. That's just a video I made of that was me testing how to do this right now. Okay, well, a half hour into it, and I hope I didn't bore you too much, but I had a few requests asking me if I could show some of the artwork I've done in the past, and that's the best I could do right there. I didn't even know what I had in that file. It just said portfolio, so I used that, figured I'd click on it. I've done so much artwork in my life, a lot of illustrations and a lot more portraits. I've done oil and pastel, and now, as you know, if you're a regular viewer of the channel, I do a lot of these greeting cards. I do so many greeting cards. Look at all these greeting cards I've done. Oh my gosh. There's so many greeting cards. That's what I do. And you know, I like doing them because I can share my time. If I were to do a large painting and put it in real time on the video, I think it would take so long and take so much editing. But these are fun. Plus I get to give them away and bring a little joy to people. All right, if you've watched this far, you are thank you so much. You are definitely appreciated. That's what I should say. If you've watched this far, I definitely appreciate it. But if you didn't, I also understand that. And if you didn't, then I guess you don't hear this part of it. All right, that's it. Poppa paints today. Yes, Poppa has painted a lot in his lifetime. And he wasn't always called Poppa either. All right, you guys be good. Talk to you later.